Welcome back to another episode of the ABL review. Here we have the ABL Season 20 South Division Week 6. Oh man, I've lost track. Let me check and make sure that's right. No. Schedule. Here we go. What are we talking about? We're talking about... Where's the schedule? How come this isn't loading? There it is. This is Week 6. I knew it. Knew it all along. No doubt. But yeah, here to talk about... That's the rules. We don't want to leave on that. We're here to talk about Week 6 battles in the South. Weird week of battles. Like, I don't know if people are getting burned out or people have just kind of figured out the formula on some people, but I would say that had quite a few, like, kind of, I don't know, one-sided battles. But here, let's hop in the first one. So we've got Dakota taking on Josh. Not a good showing for Josh, but definitely better than his showing last week. We see him go for the rapid spin here. I thought, like, okay, smart idea to get the speed boost, and we see how much his Draco Meteor does. That's crazy. I really kind of wish he would have led with that instead of this rapid spin that wasted time. But then he must have been, like, overzealous about how much damage the first one did, and then he didn't realize diminishing returns on Draco Meteor. Something that he's gonna have to learn. Yeah. So, but the Hisuian Decidueye is able to come out and pick up a nice KO there, and then so Josh is getting tripped up here. He's been having to learn a couple of hard lessons. This lesson was about stat boosts, or like stat drops, you know, like, so the speed here obviously caught him off guard. And I think that is probably, that's another lesson he's got to learn. I'm starting to think maybe I should just, because many seasons ago I did like a cores series on the SoundCloud. Maybe in the off season I'll pick up something like that and do it again, but we'll see. But oh yeah, there's a lot going on in the chat here. So get the knockoff here from the Hisuian Decidueye. Clear Smog finally gets rid of that stat boost, but by that point, mostly too late for him. So hold on. Sorry, I had to pause there. Let's get back into it. Yeah, but just Dakota takes the opportunity to get up the rocks there with the Stone Axe. Comes in on the Levitate from Hippowdon. He's just really in control here. Now we got some wheezing on wheezing action. A little bit of chip damage there. This is actually a good matchup for Josh's wheezing as opposed to this one. Especially when we see this Destiny Bond come out. I don't get the Destiny Bond play. I don't get that at all. Because obviously another Sludge Bomb's not going to KO you. Now he's got the burn range there. So, we've seen one Sludge Bomb do 35%. Another do 32%. So this one's not going to KO. And unless he's, like, hold on. Yeah, these are supposed to be the same speed. So maybe he's banking on winning a speed tie and getting crit. But he does win the speed tie there. Okay, that's good. And then Dragapult comes out, dies to hazards. Something we see a lot from inexperienced players, but we have it happen again. So he knows he's Levitate. He's just going to start chipping away at this with get up those Lake Am rocks. He's going to chip away at this with Flamethrower for a while. Pain Split, get a little bit of HP back. Just really not in any sort of danger here. We see a crit do 26%. That's really the best thing that he can do to him. Maybe this isn't the time frame I'm thinking of. So we see that Stone Edge do 18%, and that means this is never going to KO, unless he gets another crit. So it doesn't KO, and then he dies to sand, so wastes the Destiny Bond there. I mean, I know he wasn't winning that 1v1, but I don't get the Destiny Bond play at all. Yeah, and then Lottie's just kind of able to come in and clean up that Hippo. Pretty safe. He's got plenty of ways to deal with his Grimmsnarl, especially coming in on the Thunder Wave there. Yeah, and Josh not understanding that this ground type cannot be paralyzed by Thunder Wave. Something he's got to learn there. Goes for a parting shot. No Pokemon left, so he just gets the drops and has to stay. But now he finally starts busting out the spirit breaks for some damage. But at this point, it's over. There's nothing that can be done. But Dakota does decide to pad the stats and go for a recover here at the end of the game. Not even a crit would have taken him out, but he decided to go for the recover there. Don't get it, don't like it, personally. But, yeah, Josh in dire straits here. Pretty sure he's locked out of playoff contention at this stage. But Dakota takes away a big 5-0 win. Important for Dakota. We'll check in on the standings later and see how that affects his playoff chances. But we can move over to our next game, which we've got Zheng taking on Kyle. Oh, I should probably, hang on, before I start this. Just getting something ready for later. So we're going to lead off the Arachnid versus the Landorus. Solid lead for him. Obviously is turning into a pure water type there to avoid a stone edge, a potential stone edge from Landorus. I think that's a smart move. Especially because I think this is his only terastallizable Pokemon, so it's a smart move there. See the Draco Meteor come out. Is this? Yeah, we see the Mirror Coat. Unfortunately, not enough to KO. Okay, so for those, Mirror Coat's not something we see a lot. It's a move I absolutely love. So however much HP 39% on this Arachnid is, that is how much, double that is how much damage that this Archaludon took. So I have seen some people do like some pretty intense calcs of like high HP, low spit F, so that way they take more damage, but they have more of a reserve of HP to deal back. I don't know if he's specifically calced for this instance here. So I'm not going to be like, oh, he should have done that, because I don't know what his plan was, and I think most of the time it's probably better to plan broadly than specifically for something like a Mirror Coat. But gets off a lot of damage. This Archaludon's basically neutered here, and it was probably going to be a big check for either Walking Wake or Ogerpon, or both if it had a lot of HP. But we also didn't see an item on it. Kyle told me after the fact that it was Haban Berry, the dragon damage reducing berry, which is simply not useful in this battle. Because it only works, the damage reducing berries, with the exception of the normal type berry, which is Chillin Berry, only works on super effective moves, which I think is probably a good idea on their part. But yeah, not going to work on just dragon moves in general. So he gets the Stealth Rocks up. I think that's a big help, especially because we see this Mandibuzz come in and take Stealth Rock Chip. So he's going to try to keep the hazards off the field here, or keep hazards on the field here, rather. Just going to sack this Archaludon, or try to, but it gets this defense boost, which I thought when this Ogerpon came in, it's just like, this resists, or no, this Ivy Cudgel's neutral. This Archaludon's pretty defensive, plus it's got the stamina boost. Maybe there's a chance it lives this, but absolutely not. This Pokemon's so strong. If this was leftovers, he would have had another 12 HP at this point, if not more. I didn't do all the math on all the turns he would have gotten it. So we got to talk about the Ambipom set. So, I've spoken in the past about how I think it's okay, and I stand by this. It's okay if you're unfamiliar with how Pokemon works, or you just want to go with kind of the standard set. Go to, I guess I'll show you how to do it. Let's do a full screen here. For those, let's see, what's the best framing I have here for this? Yeah, we'll just go with this. Sorry, ignore this. Zoom out all the way, snap that there, snap it back. Okay. So, I would say if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you want to do with the set, I would just type in whatever Pokemon it is. We're going to go Ambipom Smogon. So go ahead and click on it. You want to make sure that the set you're looking at is, this is sorted by generation. So we're on SV, Scarlet Violet, so we're going to go with that. Now, here's the mistake Kyle made. He just took this set. He didn't realize this was Stab Moms, Jesus. Don't do that. Stab Moms, which is a other metagame where Pokemon can use whatever moves they want are added to their moveset as long as they're the same type as the Pokemon. So he went with Population Bomb. I think he might have had either Tidy Up or Swords Dance, not sure. And then, actually, I think he had Swords Dance. knockoff low kick. It really only, I don't think it ever got knockoff. Let me double check. Oh, it did get knockoff. Yep. So, but it added, I think it also had low kick, but it added swords dance and population bomb to its moveset. He took this moveset, and then also with like technician, that's a super strong population bomb. Definitely would have done a ton of damage, would have been crazy, but it's an illegal moveset. And he didn't find that out until he went to load up the team, and kind of got caught off guard by that and had to make a quick moveset here. And so we end up with kind of a weird moveset from him. Like double hit isn't a bad move, because like, look, that's doing like nearly 40% to a like very defensive Pokemon in Torkoal, but obviously not an optimized moveset here. At this point, he comes into Rotom to try to force out the Mandibuzz. Goes pure electric. I don't really know what that does for him, but now he's in a bad spot to deal with this Walking Wake. He comes in with this Slowking, which I'm guessing, based on that damage, is Assault Vest. This is what Brett needed to run the prior week instead of Utility Umbrella. But at this point, he is in really bad shape in terms of positioning. He's got nothing that can outspeed the Iron Boulder here. The only potential priority that he has is maybe Sucker Punch on Meowscarada, maybe Fake Out on Ambipom. But that's going to be hard to play around, especially now that this is a +1 Iron Boulder. Slowking's going to come out. It almost gets fully KO'd. Surf, not enough to take it out, but maybe that's in range of some priority. No, he doesn't have any. Down to the Sash here. Goes for the Triple Axle. Let's analyze here. Let's try to figure out if there was a better play for him. You know what? I think if he had just gone for the KO, because I guess he was predicting the Mandibuzz to come in, right? It's a tough spot. Because let's say he goes for a knockoff, right? He goes into he becomes a dark type. I think okay, this is why he did it. He went for this because he's faster than everything left, right? Ice is the best type against here, so that way he wanted Stab on his concurrent triple axles. If he hits this, I think he KOs him in 2, if not just 1. This is -1 defense. This is Stab. Meowscarada is pretty strong. So he KOs the Iron Boulder, and it comes down to him hitting triple axles. But if he can take out or severely weaken that Mandibuzz, Ambipom also outspeeds everything left here. And even with double hit not being super strong, it comes down to him hitting moves. But I do think this was a potential winning position here. This isn't a lost battle just because he fell behind so much to Iron Boulder. But I see why he went for the Ice-type move, because I do think... Do you want to calc? Let's calc real quick. So we don't know the exact calcs, but we can probably guess it's pretty close to Bip, Bop, Good versus Iron Boulder. -1 defense. Triple Axle. Can we just do 1 hit? 1 hits? Triple Axle would have done 18 to... So I don't think that KOs from there, right? He was at 34, yeah. So he needs to get 2 hits, so what is that? It's an 81% chance or something like that. But he didn't even get the... Not that... It doesn't matter that he didn't get the first one. If he wasn't going to get the second one, it wouldn't matter. But 81% chance is what that came down to. It doesn't change the odds at all. But yeah, I think that's all there is to say about this. Obviously, that's Ambipom comes in and gets clean KO. Didn't even have Fake Out. If it did have Fake Out, I still don't think it can't get past Mandibuzz. So Kyle's going to drop there. After a really promising start to the season, he's really gotten into the middle section of the schedule here. He's been struggling a little bit. And now we're going to move on to Michael versus Papcoon. So we've got this Sun team here versus a team that I think does pretty well against the Sun. So, I mean, we see it right here. We see this, the Cloud9 come out and negate the Sun. Okay, I think Pat makes some big mistakes here. I think we So we've seen Altaria in the north try to do this. I think Papkun's not watching the games in the north, which is fine. But if he is watching the games in the north, he's not learning any lessons. He stays and goes for Heat Crash. Weird call. I don't know why you would do that, because Heat Crash isn't going to do anything to Altaria. And you just saw this thing try to Fire Spin you. Now you're trapped. Take a little bit of damage. Heat Crash again. Perish Song comes out. He seems surprised by this based on the chat over here. Let's wait for turn 4 to pop up. Yeah. This is a dead Gouging Fire. There's nothing that can be done for him at this point. He's in a bad spot. This Gouging Fire is going to go down. No fixing that. And the other thing is, too, he's allowed himself to get trapped in a way that this Altaria is going to be able to come in at full health and potentially try that again. Nice call to go into the Cerule Edge there. I would imagine that... I'm guessing, so he was Burning Bulwark, maybe Morning Sun, Heat Crash, and Earthquake. Obviously going hard into the Cerule Edge there, trying to catch either... I mean, it could have been weak armor. It wouldn't have done a ton of damage, and he would have gotten a speed boost, or more likely, and we'll confirm when we see it later, the Flash Fire. So see this Rotom-O come in to try to be the dedicated answer for this Ogerpon Wellspring, but it gets absolutely wrecked. And I mean, in no small part because of a crit U-turn. But now we're going to see the Altaria try to take this on. Not going to be able to trap this Pokemon solely due to the fact that it does have U-turn. Same thing here. A lot of switch initiative on Papkun's team from here, and plus he's seen the tricks. He's not going to fall for it. But he's got a perfect counter to Magnezone with a Clodsire. And Papkun's got a lot of pressure on right now because he doesn't want to be trapped by this Altaria. He has to keep switch initiative up, and he's got to try to make these predictions. Like, he caught that Clodsire on that prediction there with the Flash Cannon, but it's not really going to do a lot of good, especially now we see the Toxic Spikes come up. Michael's trying to punish those switches, and he's doing a good job of it. So Fire Spin comes out. This Magnezone is quote-unquote trapped. Really just a little bit of chip damage. How much did that do? It was 12 plus the 14. So, I mean, not insignificant. But this Ogerpon Wellspring's days are numbered. He knows it. He's just going to go in and lose him to this. Really wants to soak up those Toxic Spikes, so he goes into the Venusaur to get rid of them before he comes into the Ninetales. I think he might have been better served just to go hard Ninetales. Because this is basically a sack to get in Oh, I thought it was to get in Venusaur, right? I'm a little confused by that. Calm Mind comes out here. We see that this is likely the unaware variant of Clodsire. Smart play there. Able to kind of shut this down. He's just going to go ahead and sack the Altaria. And come in with his Scarf Great Tusk and really just put in a lot of work here. I didn't really expect that to KO Venusaur. Venusaur is decently bulky. We go ahead and go into Cerule Edge here, pick up the KO. Great work by Michael, making solid work at Papkun. I do think that this team would have had more issues if Gouging Fire was around, so I think Papkun made a big mistake by allowing that to get trapped. He got lucky on the first Fire Spin dodge. He could have recalibrated and figured it out from there, but he didn't. But also, I don't want to take anything away from Michael. That was a good set, good game plan, and it worked out for him. So kudos to Michael on that. Of course, this does lead into our marquee match of the week.
Marquee match of the week. Now we have a theme.
So here we go. Marquee match of the week. We've got Connor taking on Tyler. Now, is this the best match of the week? Probably not. Is this the most significant match of the week? The one I find most interesting? I would say so. So we're just going to hop into it. So we got the Lottie versus Rillaboom. Really weird to see Fake Out come out here. This Rillaboom's able to take on this Draco Meteor, Life Orb Draco Meteor. U-turn does a ton of damage, and we get Sneasler coming out here to clean up with the Night Slash. Now, I don't know if strategically I agree with, like, the thing is, once Sneasler's Unburden is gone, it's done. You can't get it back. That speed boost is gone. If Sneasler can't switch out now without losing the speed boost, it's kind of committed. And this is a relatively fast team. I think never mind. Only two things outspeed the Sneasler after the after the Unburden's gone. But yeah, so we see the Alolan Ninetales come out, set up the Hail. Now, just a reminder that when Hail is up, Ice types get a 50% boost to their defense. So, hang on. I just had the video pause and I forgot to take a drink. So yeah, so it's able to, live this this Poison Jab pretty well. Get off a crit freeze dry. Not enough to take it out, but good amount of damage. Sneaser's gotten 2 kills here earlier in the match. And this is Connor not understanding Unburden. He thought he was going to be faster, and just isn't. This crit didn't matter, but able to outspeed and KO. Close combat comes out here. Good chunk of damage. At this point, he's pretty much sacking it. This was gone anyways. They're crit in return. Not that that mattered. This is some... But, I mean, look, he took out 3.5 Pokemon for the cost of Sneasler. I think that's a pretty good trade there. I don't understand why the fake out, because you're just risking static paras, and then we see the Drain Punch come out, same thing. Dodges a discharge there. Odds of that happening are pretty low, but that's why he gets parried on this U-turn here, because there is justice in the world. Flare Blitz easily able to KO the Braviary. But Tyler's still up 4-2 at this point. Scald's going to KO this. I was, here late game, I was expecting to see this be like an Unburdened Sceptile or something. Because you see him go for the acrobatics here. Not a good call. I think, Drain Punch would have been definitely... Oh, maybe this is a no item. That must have been no item. Because if he had been no item... Actually, I think he might have won here if he had gone... How much did Drain Punch do to the Raikou? 56 would have could have potentially did more. He would have eaten that Shadow Ball. Drain Punch got back a bunch of health. Even if he didn't KO, then he's in range. He would have had more HP going into the... and then he also wouldn't have... no. He would have had more HP going into this scenario. Probably could have... Nah, wouldn't have KO'd this. But maybe he doesn't have the Spadef drop. Maybe he has enough HP to live that Ice Beam, potentially. Sceptile wasn't in a bad spot here. But ends up going down to the Glaceon here. Another big win for Tyler. And that is his 3rd in a row. Let's hop over to the standings. Let's get rid of these 2 matches. Come over to the standings. Google Sheet, yep. So, standings right now. Tyler securely in playoffs right now. Also has some good head-to-head wins over teams ahead of him, surprisingly. This has been Tyler's best season in a while. Zhang, after kind of like a little bit of a less than exciting start to the season, has put on... I mean, he lost his first game and then pulled 4 wins out in a row. He's got some tough opponents coming up here. I don't think he's faced... let me verify it. He hasn't faced Darren yet, so looking forward to that game. I don't think he's faced Dakota yet. Yeah, hasn't faced Dakota yet, so that should be a big game. Yeah, this is shaping up to be quite a final stretch here. I do think Josh is mathematically eliminated from playoffs. Although, let me check. Let's check the schedule. So next week we've got Zhang versus Dakota, big game. Kyle versus Darren, big game. Tyler versus Josh, not really a big game, but another opportunity for Tyler to push himself further ahead, especially when the teams ahead of him. I think all 4 of these teams are ahead of him currently in the standings, right? Oh, okay, not Kyle. But most of these teams are ahead of him. 2 of them have to lose. Oh, whoops, up here. 4 of these teams are ahead of him. 2 of them have to lose. That's good for him. Connor versus Papcoon. This could potentially be for a later playoff spot. Michael's got the week off. And looking down the stretch here, we have some important games, including Kyle. Kyle still has to play his doubleheader at the end of the season. Could be with the spot he's in, could be like a real late game or late season surge for him. So he's got Darren and Michael, Connor, and Josh. So probably needs to secure 3 wins in there if he wants to like safely make it to playoffs. I mean, he could do it with just going 2-2, but I mean, I wouldn't count on that. Kyle was primed to go to the North last season, and he's just kind of skating by here after starting out 2-0, got 2 losses in a row. Really needs to turn it around here. Ad drops. That's what we got to talk about. So there's no good way to display this on this screen. So Michael made a couple of changes. So dropped Cerulege and Shiftry and picked up Incineroar and Meloetta. I am not big on Shiftry personally, but it's nice to have a dark type, and it's a hazard clearer, but he has some decent hazard clearing already with Tusk and Altaria. I don't think Shiftry is like really big in that. I don't think it fits his team super well, so I think that's a good drop there. Loses Cerulege, but he still has a ghost type. He still has a fire type in Incineroar, and it's also a good physical attacker. And it also gives him, bulk and U-turn. He's got a very bulky offensive team, which, as we know, is pretty reliable in league format. So really excited for him going forward. And then picks up Meloetta. I mean, he doesn't. This is great. This is just some kind of like immediate punch for his team. I don't think he had a psychic type off the top. Oh, he had Grumpig, but not a super reliable one. But gives him a normal type, so that gives him a ghost immunity, which is always nice. And just Meloetta's a lot stronger and also more switch initiative with U-turn. I think that's good for him. And then we finally had... Oh, let's talk about Kyle's team since it's right here. Is this front center there? Yeah, it is. So Kyle made a couple of changes too, dropping Ambipom and Mistrovis to pick up Slacking and Poltegeist. Now, Poltegeist is a really threatening setup sweeper. Like more immediate power than Mistrovis. Obviously loses out on some bulk, but I think he's got enough bulk elsewhere in his team. And he also picks up Slacking, a Pokemon with which he has a history. Got 5 KOs in a match with it before. Or was it 6? I don't remember. He just recently posted the replay in the Discord, so go ahead and find that. Power-wise, significant upgrade over Ambipom, right? Obviously, it has that ability that really holds it back, but, I mean, we could see a Terra Normal Giga Impact come out and just take a Pokemon off the field. Like, let's see who he's playing next week. I know I just looked at it, but I was playing Darren. What's Darren have for a... What does Darren have for this? A Corviknight. But a Corviknight is probably, like, firmly 2-hit KO'd by a Double Edge. So we'll see how he deals with that. But he also has his Hisuian Zoroark, so could be a guessing game for Kyle. But if he gets those plays right, Slacking can really take chunks out of a team. Yeah, I think that'll probably wrap up this edition. Oh, no, sorry. And then Josh also made a change. Dropping Grimmsnarl and picking up Ogerpon Cornerstone. I think this is really important. I think that just when learning the ins and outs of Pokemon, I think Grimmsnarl is a support Pokemon that takes kind of a deft hand to use. And I don't think Josh has the right team to take advantage of it. I think Ogerpon is a good call. The only thing that concerns me with this is he doesn't have a fairy type or a dark type on the team for that matter, but he does have those types covered in his Terras. So we'll see how things go for him. Hopefully he can turn around and get a win here down the stretch. Would be really good for him. And then a couple teams tweaked their Terra captains, but nothing really to write home about. But that wraps everything up for the South. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.